Hi class, this is course 2, lesson 29. Today we are going to round whole numbers and mixed numbers and estimate answers. Okay, I know this is review, so we'll get through it fairly quickly. Rounding numbers. If we want to round the number 482 to the nearest hundred, the process that you follow is this. Underline the place value, circle the digit to the right of it. If it's 4 and under, you go down. And if it's 5 and greater, you go up. If it's down, you actually stay the same. Okay, so it's either keep the number or bump it up. So let's try to do this. So we're going to take the number 482 over here, and we are going to underline the place value. So we want the nearest hundred. So which digit is in the hundreds place? Well, it'd be the 4. So we did that. Then we're going to circle the digit to the right. That is this 8. Did that. If it's 5 or greater, we're going to bump the other digit up. Okay, so we're going to bump that one up. So this becomes a 5. And then we'll replace the circled digit, the 8, and all digits to the right with zeros. So rounded to the nearest hundred, 482 becomes 500. We can also use a number line to round numbers, and if they ask you to do that, here's all you're doing. If we use a number line to round 283 to the nearest 10, we're just going to make a number line with the tens shown. So notice the number line counts by tens, 200, 210, 220, 230. Okay, so it's going every 10, and we're going to mark the estimated location of the number that they give you. So they told you 283, and 283 would be approximately here. If you had to put it somewhere on the number line, you would put it right there. Okay, so now using this point, 283, which nearest 10 is it nearest to, right? So we were counting by 10, so these are the numbers you pick from, and which one is it nearest to? It's nearest to 280. So that's another way that you can round numbers. Rounding mixed numbers, you have to round those to the nearest whole number. Okay, make sure that you understand that rounding mixed numbers round to the nearest whole number. And how do you do this? Well, you have to compare the fraction. You have to compare the fraction to half. Okay, so just like we were on the first page back here, we're still going to say if it's 4 and under, we keep it the same, and if it's 5 and greater, we go up. But 5 is really half, so if it's less than half, we're going to keep the number the same, and if it's greater than half, we're going to move up. So what I like to do is I like to write right here the denominator, and then what is half if I use that denominator? Well, half of 10 is 5. Okay, so now compare these two numbers here. Is 3 5 or greater, or is 3 less than 5? Remember the rules, if it's less than 5, we're going to keep the number the same. So this would end up being 5. Okay, now 8 and 5/8. Write the denominator. What is half of 8? Half of 8 is 4. So now look at the numerator that you have. Is this 5 less equal to or greater than? That would be, this is half, right? This number is the same as half. This number is the same as half. Is your 5/8 bigger than half? If it is, then you bump your whole number up to the next number. Okay, let's do another example, because I think that this is where we're going to have some issues. So let's say we have 2 1/3. If I write 1/3, what is half of 3? Well, half of 3, hopefully you know, is 1 1/2. So compare the number 1 to 1.5. Is 1 greater than 1.5, or is it less than 1.5? Well, it's less than, so you would round down, which means you would keep the same number. What about if we had the number 7 and 6/12? Okay, so write the denominator, and then what is half of 12? It's 6. Okay, so compare your numerators. Are they the same? If they are the same, then you have exactly half, right? We have half, so half will bump your number up, so that becomes an 8. Okay, so make sure you understand this concept that you're comparing your fraction to a fraction of a half. If this is tricky for you, please let me know in class or on the website in the note feedback. That would be great, so I know that you have questions. Okay, last thing we're going to do today, estimating answers. When you estimate answers, always round to one non-zero digit. Don't make this any harder on yourself than it has to be. So we're going to round to the first digit on the left hand side, right? The greatest place value, so that all the other digits are zeros. So this number here, if we round to the thousands place, this would become 4,000. And if we round to the tens place, because the 8 is bigger than 5, this bumps up to 20, and 4,000 divided by 20 is so much easier to do than 4388 divided by 18. Because I know that 20 will go into 40 twice, and then it's just a matter of filling in the zeros. So make sure that when you are asked to estimate, that you round to one non-zero digit. This is important for you to understand. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Okay? That's it. Again, remember, if you have questions, please let me know. I'll see you in class.